connections with other people on multiple levels: family, platonic, romantic, career, co-worker, stuff like that. Where does loyalty settle? And the thing is, if it breaks your peace, you do not need to be loyal to it. You don't. I'm sorry, you do not. You don't. You don't. Because when someone truly cares for you, they do not want to be a part of the problem. And if you truly care for someone, you do not want to be a part of the problem as well. And a lot of times we are in codependent interactions with each other that we are pretending is loyalty, when really it's not. It's just codependency. And codependency and loyalty starts to look very, very similar, especially when you've known somebody for quite a while. Think about it like this. You know what makes you happy. You know the little things and you know the big things. And just because you have a connection with someone that might, span a little while, does not mean you are obligated to disrupt your peace in order to make them feel comfortable. That's a hard lesson to learn, especially in love. And let me tell you, if you have a hard time in love, it started with the family. And I'm not saying that everything has to do with your family, but we learn how to love ourselves from our first examples. And a lot of the weird behavior that may limit us from getting to the love that we want, it typically starts out by seeing examples in our family. Or it can actually extend to friendships too. Especially when you get older, once you become a teenager, you don't really care too much about the family, but you start really, leaning into those social roles, which then is like a bunch of people who are just living out the fucked up shit they learned in their families. So, I say all of that to say, do not ever let someone break your peace. You have a goal, you have a dream, you have all of these gifts that you're out here to give the universe. And whenever we drop those because we're so afraid of losing someone, we prevent our soul from elevating. Lose the person, lose that person. I don't care if they are your significant other. I don't care if they are your parent. I don't care if they're your best friend. I don't care if they're your co-worker, your job, your boss. Lose it. Lose those things that do not bring you peace. And accept, maintain, and require environments that do bring you peace. Require a working environment that brings you peace. Require a romantic relationship that gives you stability, calmness, and peace. Require your friendships to give you peace. Require your family to give you peace. Require it, or they do not get the privilege to be in your space. I'm going to say it one more time. They don't get to be around you. They don't get to be around your gifts, your good energy. Same for you. You cannot be unloading on people, okay? Deal with yourself. And when you're around people, be gracious. Be gracious of yourself. Be gracious of them. If it is time for you to move on from an interaction with someone, allow it to be. If someone needs their own space, let them have that freedom. Because you never know. It might be their time to leave your life because you have bigger or more colorful, more complex. I don't want to use the word complex. I want to say more colorful, more comforting, more authentic, more in alignment with your energy, interactions with other people. But you may be forcing yourself to be around the same people, someone, and you have those butterflies because it's like, ooh, it's something familiar. It's like, ooh. And then they're talking about how the butterflies are really warning signs, but we think it's like, oh, it's so cute. Oh, it's like I've known you for my whole life. Well, it's a sign that your body is saying, hey, this is something that you know. You're familiar with this. So guess what? It ends up pretty much playing out the way that most of your interactions with certain people have played out in the past, because the butterflies, they're a warning sign, a warning signal to be like, are you sure? But we live in a current time, or we just live with the understanding that the butterflies are like, oh, this is my soulmate. There's a lot of soulmates on a lot of different levels, not just romantic ones. And when you come into contact with these people, you all can, on varying levels, learn something from each other, grow with each other. But we have to stop romanticizing toxicity. We have to stop romanticizing codependency and let that shit go. Like, literally let it go in order to truly get a calming and loving and peaceful environment. You can be in love and it not have to have all that ups and downs, and it still be exciting. It can still be exciting in a love that don't have all that drama. You can still have fun with people that are around you that aren't, super, I gotta have a lot of attention. Certain people gotta have a lot of attention to make up for their insecurities, or I gotta give somebody a lot of attention because I don't want the attention on me, X, Y, and Z. There are dynamics with people outside of that in which people just peacefully come. If they're one of those loving people and they just like to nurture a lot of people, they can do that without it being codependent, without them doing too much. Or if they're one of those people where it's just like a little bit more standoffish, but you all can appreciate each other for where you're at, you can do that too. But we have to, if we want to have peace, stop romanticizing codependency. Stop romanticizing toxicity. When we look at most of our movies, great love stories, rom-coms, a lot of the relationships that are depicted are ridiculously codependent because it's entertaining. When we're watching something that entertains us, it gives us those ups and downs that we like, right? Oh, that's exciting. But then we start to think that that entertainment is actually reality. We start living our lives with those ups and downs, and it don't feel good when you feel secure in a relationship and then the next day it doesn't feel secure, and then the next day it feels secure, and then you start feeling crazy because you're like, wait a minute, is it secure, is it not secure? Having those ups and downs. When you are consuming these messages from different people, take it as entertainment, enjoy it for what it is, but ultimately follow your peace. I'm the type of person where I have a very big personality. I am very determined. I'm very assertive. But for a long time, I thought that I should be with someone who had a big personality too. Or better yet, someone who was like, oh, me, give me a lot of attention like that, because I have a lot of attention to give. And I started to realize how draining that was for me as I was pursuing the things that I wanted to do, to have to siphon off my energy in order to fill somebody else up because they never learned how to fill themselves up. So I created that environment too, and they allowed that environment as well. But the moment that I took a step back and said, look, I am only being loyal to me, and I know that I am a good person, I know that I have, good intentions, and I only want to be around people who vibrate at that level that I vibrate, everything got better. Love, family, friends, better boundaries, amazing. We're all just trying our best to figure out how to do all of this stuff here to make our dreams come true, to feel loved, supported, to feel a part of community. That's a big one too. A lot of people, who doesn't want to feel accepted? Who doesn't want to feel a part of a group? Who doesn't want to feel like there is community and collective? That's a part of my intention of creating Reiki Healing Hope, for people to have different, backgrounds and understanding of these different healing and wellness principles, but still have a place where we can all come together and just be excited for each other's healing and growth. And in order to get to that peace, I had to say no. When I first started Reiki Healing Hope, I had people tell me it's not going to go anywhere, and I didn't care. When I started having a little traction, I had people try to hijack it and be like, oh, it should do this or it should do that. I didn't care. I have people who know what I do, and they're still confused, like, well, is it this or is it that? And I don't care. I don't care. Because I know at the end of the day that when I read your messages, it lets me know that this community has purpose. So anybody outside of that who is not a part of this community and just has something to say just because they like to see their lips flap, I don't care. I don't even care a little bit at all. Could care. I don't know if I could even care less. I care so little about that, because it is so important to me to create a space and a place of peace. And what I'm trying to encourage us all to do is to maintain that. And everything I'm talking about is essentially just called having boundaries. And it's really, really tough, because we learn early on in many ways in society, in our friends, social interactions, we get these boundaries torn down very early on. And sometimes we're even rewarded for having less boundaries. If we look at people who are online and they get a lot of attention fast, it's typically because they're doing something that evades their boundaries. Not every time, but like situations. If we look at our interactions with others, how do we get a lot of people to like us? Well, like, take apart your boundaries. If you're always available for other people and you're not available for yourself, you'll have a lot of people around you, but they gonna be needy. And there are some times where, walling ourselves up, separating ourselves to a point where, not that we are just taking care of ourselves, but saying, I'm afraid of the world, can typically happen because there are scenarios before where there weren't good boundaries. So then you go to the complete opposite side of, I don't want to experience anything. No, get out there. Get out there, but don't go all the way over there. Just go in the path in the middle. Let me give you this middle. Go in the path in the middle. Tell people no and say yes to what is important to you. And sometimes you're gonna have to lose out on some opportunities, some friendships, some people, forever or for certain moments, because you gotta take care of you. But if you take care of you, then no one else has to be responsible for your healing journey, because no one can force you to heal, no one can force you to be happy, but you can make the decision to build peace and healing and clarity in your life. You have that within you. And I strongly believe that if we all personally take accountability for our own peace and happiness, I think the world would be a better place just in general. But, maybe just our little community decides to take accountability for that. Well, anyway, if you take anything I said, go and take this. If it steals your peace, don't be loyal. If it steals yourself a little bit